Welcome to the Scale Model Podcast. In this podcast, we aim to entertain, inform, and promote the hobby of scale model kit building with interviews, reviews, and news about the hobby. The podcast is available bi-weekly where your favorite podcasts are found, including iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher. You can also get it from our website at scalemodelpodcast.com, where you can find show notes, photo gallery, and so much more. You can also subscribe to get notifications on all our updates, new episodes, and video content. Please support the Scale Model Podcast on Patreon. Patreon supporters enjoy early access to content and exclusive contests. Your Patreon support helps us to offset hosting and other costs to bring the podcast to you. Welcome to episode 108 of the Scale Model Podcast, sponsored by Cult TV Man, Sean's Custom Model Tools, and Return to Kit Form. My name is Stuart Clark, and how's that? One take this time. Unbelievable. So those two voices you hear, of course, is Mr. Jeff Hyland from the North Shore of Lake Erie. There he is. And, of course, from northwest of Chicagoland, Mr. Terry Measley. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Yeah, it's kind of a cold but kind of a yucky gray day here.
It was actually sunny here for the first time in about 2.5 weeks.
Oh, yeah. All that sun's going south of us, sadly. It's
like 40 degrees out there.
Oh, yeah.
But we had sun here, Stuart. It was very sunny.
On the North Shore of Lake Erie?
Yep.
Really? Okay. Well, in London, it was not. It matched, the mood of many people going back to work after holidays and all that. So, first of all, we want to thank our latest Patreon supporter. That would be Mr. Gord Cat. Patreon.com/Scale Model Podcast. It does help with the web hosting, and as we try different experiments and stuff like that with the technology, and most of all, we just really appreciate it. We like all our listeners, but we have that extra little bit of extra love for our Patreon supporters. So there we go. All right, latest news. I got an email from the Mid-Michigan Model Makers. They want to invite any and all of the crew to join us for their contest coming up. That is on Saturday, February 4th at a new location, LFA Hall in Bay City, Michigan.
Yeah, Scenic Bay City.
Scenic Bay City. I've never
very
been
nice.
there.
Bay City's very nice.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
All right. They have a nice map. They've even pointed out it's just, you basically take the highway, go past International RV World and just past the Taco Bell. So,
and not too far past Revivify, licensed massage therapy, which is good to know.
Good to know.
What else do you need?
I wasn't going there. They did mention the Valley Resort and Conference Center, but anyway, this is their 38th annual show. 11 classes, 31 categories, lots of information there. So we have put a link in. And apparently they're also going to have the Making Bacon food truck on site. So you were asking what else do you need, Terry? There you go. Bacon.
Bacon. The Butch O'Hare show had an empanada truck.
Oh yeah, was it good?
Yeah. I the line was too long and I didn't go.
Oh dear.
It smelled great though. Yeah. I could have gone for some empanadas. Well,
this year is the category is whiteout. Anything white or winter related.
Cool.
So there you go. Some good ideas there.
It's impressive to me. This is their 38th annual show.
I know. I was saying that. Yep. Yeah, pretty wild. So we're looking forward to seeing some pictures from there, and hopefully we'll hear. I don't think I'll be able to make it, sadly.
Yeah, right. Whoever's listened to our podcast there in mid-Michigan there, but send us pictures.
Okay, then I found this. This is kind of neat. I want to put it in the news section because it is to do with the industry. This is from the Smart Artworks newsletter. This is from an upcoming release from the Marauder from the Bad Batch. Okay, but what's interesting is this is the one they're building for the box art. You see box art photos and stuff like that. So this person here had to build it, and it's pretty wild. Like you see, it's Rounds 2's latest kit. It's very accurate. He was sent test shots molded in white plastic for build for the packaging art and publicity material. And it kind of goes behind the scenes. He tells how he did the glazing. He's got a couple of LEDs in there. and what he used. And again, it's just kind of fascinating to see. People don't think about this, but yeah, this is what you have to do. The industry, the model maker, you want pictures. Someone's got to build it the first time.
I like it. I mean, I haven't seen this Bad Batch show, but I do like this kit, and it is kind of a blend of the Tidarium shuttle and the TIE fighter, and God knows what else. It's kind of a cool little beast.
Yeah, I do like it. I like it a lot. I'll pick it up.
Yeah,
sure.
I'll have to have a look because my wife just started watching this. I haven't watched it yet, so the show. But there's some really nice stuff with the artwork and what's on the box. They've even got looks like on the back of the box, they're going to show how to achieve a weathered look. So yeah, this is going to be really, really good. But I just thought it was interesting to show kind of, again, a behind the scenes on how they do things. So very, very cool thing, and I'm going to keep an eye on this guy's newsletter and stuff like that. So and a very nice kit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're recording this on January the 9th. As you guys know, one of my favorite manufacturers, Airfix. They do it in announcements, big announcements for the range every year. When did they decide to do it? Tomorrow. The day after. I'm going to have a word with Spencer Pollard, who does some decals for them. I'm hoping he has some pull. Next year, they got to, schedule that a little bit better. But I will have, by the time you read this, you'll probably be sick of me reposting some of the news on the Facebooks and stuff like that. But I had to put it in now. So, all right. Latest hobby announcements. Exciting. If you're a Canadian modeler, this one will excite you greatly. Our good friends at Kinetic, finally, you can hear the cheering from Canadian aviation modelers everywhere. They are going to be coming out with, hopefully this year, 148, the CT-114 Tudor, the Canadair in 148. This, of course, was the air trainer, advanced training aircraft that the Canadian Air Force would use. But also, just as importantly, this is also used by our air demonstration team, the Snowbirds, and still being used. And they've got some people. They had a lot of involvement from a few Canadian modelers who had to keep very quiet about this. And the renders look absolutely awesome. So we have an interview coming up with our good friends from IPMS Hamilton for the Canadian Warplane Heritage Museum Heritagecon. If you're planning to get this kit, they have a tutor on site. I have a feeling it'll be getting an awful lot of images. There's an awful lot of love here. My understanding was it was originally supposed to be a 1/32 scale project, but it kind of fell by the wayside about 8-9 years ago. But this looks absolutely awesome. You remember how I said I was going to try and restrict my buying to, only the 48 scale Armor Hurricane? Yeah, this just blew that out.
It never seems to work, does it?
No, I don't think anyone believed you, Stuart. I really don't think anybody believed you. So.
No, I know. This is going to be, knowing how Kinetic's done on some of their other subjects, this looks absolutely gorgeous. I believe our friends at Above and Below Decals are going to be involved. So I'm sure we'll see some interesting schemes and interesting ideas. So very cool.
I suspect this might have a depressing effect on the prices for the old Hobbycraft 148.
Oh, yeah. I haven't had time to look it up. It'll be interesting to track.
I guess I'm going to have to build my Belcher Bits tutor at some point then.
Yep. See, that's why they basically knew, and they said, yeah, Terry hasn't built that yet. Let's bring out a new one.
Or maybe he'll just sell it as a collector's item.
There you go. You better hurry.
I haven't done it yet, so I'll probably keep it.
All right. So next up, we talked about this about a year and a half ago, but looks like this is getting closer. From ICM, the giant 135th Terry. This is the giant heavy lift Sikorsky Tarhe 54. I always remember one of these, the civilian version, put the last bit on the CN Tower.
That was
in the mid-70s.
I looked up that before the show. That was the CH-60. So that just
was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same. Looks the same. It's just a further iteration of that.
All right. But pretty cool. Pretty cool. Can carry up to 28,000 pounds of cargo or a troop pod with 45 soldiers. And this is going to be 135th. So this is going to be big.
Yeah.
So we're eventually going to see dioramas with this thing carrying Sky Raiders or I think Phantoms,
Skyhawks, and
and
well, they got a picture of it picking up a patrol boat river, a PBR, in Vietnam. So
and the Skyhawk, and exactly. So that's going to be kind of neat. So
is that a Sheridan?
Yeah,
it carrying a Sheridan. That's awesome.
Yep, exactly. So that's going to be kind of fun as well. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see, as you say, on the tables once that comes out. That's what's always. Go ahead.
Didn't somebody just do a 35th scale Sheridan?
Yes. Tamiya, didn't they? Didn't they reissue one?
Did they?
I know Anthony was all over it because that's one of his favorite tanks, Mr. Goodman.
Yeah, it's Tamiya.
Yeah. So no, there'll be
new tool. 2019 new tool.
Yeah. It's always neat. It's always neat to see. You always know what's new and hot by what comes out on the table the following year. So exactly. Last year was F-14 and Phantoms, and I think there'll be some cool things. So that's very nice. Okay, next up, our good friends at Special Hobbies. They've got a bunch of items for January. They've got the L4 Cub in post-war service, 1/48 scale, with some nice little schemes there for various countries.
Yeah, it's such a sweet little plane.
Yep. Also known as the Grasshopper, which was done from the Civil J3. You get some nice resin with it, etc. But these are all European-based ones in post-war service.
These are all post-war service versions.
Yep.
In this release of it, anyway.
In this one.
Civilian.
Next up in 132nd, the Italian Fiat G50B, the B Commando.
Going Commando.
Yeah.
Going Commando was a 2-seat machine converted from standard fighter types for the pilot training. So this is a training aircraft for their pilot training. So this is a 2-seater, a little bit of photo etch, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It was served with the Italian Air Force until 1948. You get, this is quite good. You get five styrene sprues, one with clear parts, resin parts, photo etch. A lot of nice resin parts there.
Yeah, their Italian planes, pretty much all the Special Hobby releases have been really good.
Yeah, this is a rare version.
Yeah, ones years ago, but wow, I may have to pick this up.
This looks good. Couple of different schemes, 4 different schemes, some nice photo etch. Look at those engine cylinders.
The engine's a kit in itself.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, next up for their 148 Viggen, the SK3070, you have the canopy mask for it and the wheel mask. You've got Yak 9D wheels, 148 for the Sevezda kit. They're weighted. You've got exhaust for the Yak 9K/T, 132nd for the ICM. All 4 different types.
These are nice.
Yeah, plus wheels for the same kit. What else? Oh, for the Nürburgring wheels, for the Special Armor, 130/72nd scale, you can get the Nebelwerfer. That's that like six rocket thing. You got the wheels for that.
They're just trailer wheels.
Yeah, I know, but hey, someone wants them. Yeah. Oh, here we go. 148 for the ICM Beaufort. The Mark 1 main wheels and tail wheel with the leg.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go for the Beaufort fans. And again, they are weighted. The 48 scale Yak 9D exhausts. Yeah, so lots of goodies from our good friends over there at Special Hobby. Again, I love their stuff because they always send me a lot of emails and they let us know what's going on.
The Beaufort wheels are probably worth it for the tail wheel alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a new fork and wheel.
Yeah.
They say for these that they're resin kits and sets. Do you think they're resin? Do you think they're 3D printed resin?
No, these will be resin cast.
Resin cast, yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be resin cast. They do a nice job on the resin cast.
Oh, I see. The orange ones are 3D printed parts.
Yeah,
I see.
All right, next up, a lot of good feedback here. Mini Art, which of course is based in the Ukraine. During because of the war, they had a complete stop and no guarantee of any future. They actually they've returned 2023. They've got a huge catalog here, also including for I think the first time aircraft, 148 scale aircraft, namely the Thunderbolt. So the P47D-25RE, they've got advanced kit with all the extra goodies and a basic kit. So for Thunderbolt fans, you have another option. And then, of course, with the catalog, just tons of goodies, modern oil drums, A bunch of newer tractors, old and new. Like
we talked about their tractors and armored cars and stuff over the past
I just love their tractors.
Yeah. German agricultural tractor, 38. Industrial one from 36. 1950. Yeah, all sorts of goodies there. There's some new armored cars in the World War I miniature series.
Nice.
Yeah. Some of the tank guys will like another Stug, a 3 Os G, 1945. Let's see, a late production from 42.
On page 28 there, the U.S. Army panel delivery truck.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
That's great.
I love that, yeah.
That's neat.
I mean, yes.
That's high. That's high off the ground, that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And for the guys wanting to do dioramas, the next page as well, the K-51 radio truck with the K-52 trailer, and it comes with an interior kit.
Yeah, and some of the rail trucks.
1.5 ton railroad truck, anti-aircraft type. Yep.
Lots of good, unusual subjects. And of course, they've always done well with their figures, so they've got a bunch of new releases to add to the existing one. U.S. Soldiers in Cafe, so you got 2 U.S. guys and a waiter. I think they have one for the British too. German Soldiers in Cafe, etc., etc. A lot of cool new items just going down here. Accessories. I
like that little what page is this? 39. The Tempo A400 leaflet wagon, German 3-wheel delivery van. Look at that.
They've got a whole series of those.
Yeah, they've done a bunch of them now, different ones coming out. So that's very cool. You got some of the what else? They've got tracks, engines. Yeah, here's some more on page 55. More the Casta wagon, a 3-wheeler. That's new. Some of the trolleys. I love some of the trolleys they do. At some point I'm going to put the thing. How about this one on page 59? The cheese wagon, cheese delivery car. That is a big wheel of cheese. I hope it comes with the cheese. Cheese better be included. I'm just saying.
That is a lot of Emmentaler.
That's a lot of cheese. Yeah.
Well, that'll definitely bung you up for sure.
That'll bung you up big time. Well, then you go down to page 63. You got the cheese sellers, and there's like a cart with like 2 giant wheels of cheese right there.
Oh, yeah. Stuart, right there for you.
The butcher.
61 sheep. Whole bunch of sheep. I know.
They got more sheep. I know. That's the existing one. I already have that one. I've been painting them up for my wife's dollhouse. And then of course, because there's a war going on, the BTR-4E early edition.
That looks nice.
Awesome. We're sending them Cougars and Grizzlies. I wonder how long till we get converted Canadian, armored vehicles over there in Ukrainian service. So yeah, just lots of goodies.
Nice, and that one looks nice and complex. I like it.
Yeah.
This catalog just goes on and on.
Yeah, they do. It's a beautiful catalog. Just we have the link. Definitely check it out. I did want to point out though, page 97. They have these interior kits, which includes the diorama. So you get sometimes you get a couple of vehicles and everything else you need to make it up. Reminds me of the old Matchbox 176, but these are in 135th. This is the big sets. So you've got the Panzer IV and a KFZ70 with cruise. Mm-hmm. You've got another one with the ISU 85 and a gas and cruise. And just above that, they also had the one, I think they released this one last year. This is the repairing of the Panzer IV with the crane and them lifting the engine out.
A recent release.
Yeah, more of the helicopter set, a lot of figures. Yeah, lots of goodies.
Yeah, if you scroll down to 103, you'll see a whole bunch of auto gyros too.
I know. The over-engineered auto gyros. You know what? Great. They do some nice stuff, but I'm going to say it. I found the auto gyro over-engineered. There was some points where they had like 7 parts where they could have had 4.
I may have to get myself one of these Colibri, the Flettner FL202.
Yeah.
Early helicopter. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, check it out. There was a bunch of different ones, so definitely check those out. So yeah, that's from our good friend.
So much
stuff. All right, modeling news from TACOM. Just like Spitfires and Hurricanes, you can never have too many Tigers and apparently T-55s. This is the T-55AD with the droids active tank defense system in 135th. So what this basically is this includes a little active thing that's always scanning, and then if it picks up a missile coming inbound, like those fired by the brave Ukrainian patriots, it's supposed to try and stop them before they hit the tank and spoil the tank crew's day. Basically.
I'm not sure it worked that well.
Well, again, I don't think too many of the tanks have them right now, but they've been around for quite a while. So it's a projectile.
Early 80s.
Yeah. So you think they might need to put a few more.
That's 40 years ago.
Yeah. The mini adaptation. So this is basically you're getting the 55, then you're getting an updated turret and a few other, and the drawing in the link we're sending shows in pink all the new parts.
Yeah, it is pretty cool though.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll sell.
TechCon.
Of that I have no doubt it will sell. All right, and then Terry pointed out that our good friends at Kidlinks, they got a bunch of new Macross items. This excites me greatly.
Re-released a whole bunch of Macross stuff.
Yeah, I just wish Kidlinks would let us do direct links.
Yeah, it doesn't
search us, so I had to say make sure you put Hasegawa in here first. I still want one of those. What is it? The YF-11 with the radar dome. If I ever see that there, or maybe if when you're down at Wonderfest.
Including all the VF-0 series, the VF-0D, which was always a tougher one to get a hold of. Mm-hmm. And if you get that in a single seat version, you could swap the canopies out and have a VF-0B and a C.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go, have a C. There's the VF-11B Super, with the fast packs and everything is also out there. So have a look. Brand new stuff. No, it's not brand new stuff. It is not new, but it's
been re-released.
It's been re-released. Yep, they're back out, and pick them up if you missed out on them the first time.
That's right, exactly. And if you ever need canopy masks, our good friends at Return to Kit Form, we'll talk about them later on. Okay, Roden. They have a New Year's Eve announcement. They got a couple of things. They have the 132nd World War I biplane, the SPAD, the 13C1 in 132nd, and they also have the GMC PD 3751 bus. It's a Trailsway bus in 135th. So this one here shows the SPAD kit, and I just saw a link today on the bus, so I'll include that as well when I find it. So again, they're saying the Roden kits are very good. If you're into the World War I subjects.
Yeah, I've got a few of them, and some of them are quite good, and others are, they're weird in the sense that some parts of them are exceptional, wing nuts quality, and other parts are just not, and so you're not sure what you're getting sometimes.
Right, interesting. All right.
But for example, if you can't find a wing nuts version of a specific aircraft, you probably can find a Roden one in the same scale, and it's pretty good.
Kind of tough to find wing nuts in general, although I see a few more places finally got their shipments.
Yeah.
So they're again being
they all sold out really
shelves. Yeah.
They still sold out very, very quickly.
Still commanding high prices. All right. Coming from Dora Wings, one of Terry's favorite manufacturers. This is going to be a P-47. Again, I don't know my P-47s, but I guess there hasn't been a decent P-47B or C.
No, there hasn't. You had to do a little work to turn the Tamiya one into a C. But
right.
And early war, 56 Fighter Group were equipped with Bs, and a few Cs made it to the 4th Fighter Group, and then they transitioned to Ds. But I think the Cs flew until they wore them out.
Okay.
Tom Cleaver says these are fantastic, and he knows his stuff. So
yeah, it mentions in the article, you can say thank you, Tom TC, since I've given Eugene the information to do the decals for Gene Reynolds' Spacone Chiefs from the 78th Group's 84th Fighter Squadron, where he scored his first triple for a 8th Fighter Command pilot, and Charles London's El Jeepo from the 83rd Fighter Squadron.
Yeah, the big difference between the two is that the C had a revised belly, a keel, so it could mount a tank, a fuel tank.
Okay.
So to give it extra range.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, the sprue shots look nice, and again, you know P47's better than we do, so I know there's been
Looking
a lot of
forward
excitement.
to it.
Yeah, I know there's been a lot of excitement. I'm sure that's on Terry's list.
Yet another. I just finished up the P43, so I gotta put more Seversky lineage fighters on the.
No, it's going to be awesome. I think that's going to be good. Okay, and yeah, I saw this one. I forgot to add the link from our friends at Cult TV, man. The Kronos 1.
Yes.
So
350th scale Kronos. This is the big, highly decorated cruiser you saw in the movie.
Number 6. Yeah. It was very highly decorated, and based on a CAD. Yep, good lighting based on a CAD supplied by Charles Adams. There will be a lighting kit sold separately. Yeah, I always like Kronos 1. That was nicely done.
Yeah,
a lot of masking.
I gotta say though, I'm looking at this link, and I scroll down a little bit, and I still 2001 Space Clipper large kit 172 scale.
Yeah,
you just have to buy it. You just have to buy it. You want it.
Exactly.
I do.
And you'll build it.
Our friends at Cult TV, man, will be happy to send it along.
And you can buy the Pan Am decals too, so that's not a bad.
I know.
Yeah, so the D7 Kronos 1, it's available for pre-order.
$10 off.
There's a $10 off. There you go.
Good deal. You can't do much better than that. And you're buying it from a quality place.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Keep Steve.
What's interesting to me is you look at the picture. Like the language, it says Kronos 1 from Star Trek 6 from round 2/AMT. You look at the picture, it's got a Polar Lights logo on it.
Well, that's
Polar Lights has the licensing.
Yeah,
Polar Lights has the licensing.
Or that's an old in the works thing. So interesting.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's a big ship. I remember we had. I think Peter at our club, Jeff had one of the 350th regular Klingon cruises, either him or Aaron, and they were big. They're big kits. So
there's a lot you can do with them.
Yep, expected spring 2023. So there you go.
And like Klingons, they're dirty birds, so you can mess them up.
Yep, slightly cleaner because it was the Klingon Emperor's ship.
Yeah.
Yes, but still, even the Emperor's ship has to be dirty. I mean, it's like they're the tanks of the spaceship world.
Yeah, so. True. All right, and I haven't even looked at this yet. What's new at ScaleMates? So let's just have a look here. Full kits, new tool. Let's have a look here from Flame Toys. This again, we're doing this on Monday. Soundwave looks like one of the original Transformer kits. So Soundwave was a mech, a robot that would convert into a Walkman.
Sorry.
Yep.
From way back when. It's still popular. Don't mock it. Very popular Transformers.
I'm just looking a bit further down. I see the Ritasaurus.
Yes, that looks pretty cool, eh? 130th from Star Ace. And then how about the Morris Beaufort C9B? The iconic World War II gun truck.
Yeah, that's fun too.
Yeah,
and a hydraulic excavator.
Yeah,
look at that. Like 3 very unusual kits right out of the gate. I like it.
January 8th. Yep, from Gun Tower Models. And then we've got, looks like some, the IA-27. Looks like an experimental jet.
Yep, research planes.
Yep,
the
research. Yep.
Is that from Argentina?
I'm not sure. To be perfectly honest, one of our 172nd or 148th, maybe one of our viewers can tell us.
I think it's an Argentine research plane.
Well,
the IA-33 was a Pulki 2, which looks like a fully armed jet fighter.
You are correct.
Those are Argentinian markings.
Jeff, you are correct. According to the Wikipedias,
the Pulki was to Argentina what the CF-100 Canuck was to Canada. It was kind of like an indigenous design.
Only one prototype was completed. Unsatisfactory performance led to the aircraft being superseded by a later design. So, very good. Very good.
Next one down, the McLaren M19A in 112 scale. Factory hero.
That's going to be. I know some people that will like that.
My wife and I have been addicted to Drive to Survive on Netflix.
Yeah, yep.
It's been around forever, so I'm sure everybody that listens to this has already watched it, but we hadn't. And what a Oh my
Isn't it
God!
great? The way F1s come, yeah, I know, it's amazing. How about this? How about this one after you get your other float plane, the Loher Type L, Lucrograph 1/48.
Don't tempt me. I do like them. I love
Two
both.
scale. Oh, 1/32, too, Jeff. 1/32 in development,
Yeah,
January 2023.
we talked
There you
about
go.
Luke Graff a little while ago. And
I know, but I like to wind them up again.
wow.
I know. HMS, Vanguard models, HMS Indeflaggable, 1794, 1/64. Nice ship of the line. I think John Marley, one of our listeners out of Australia, he's been working on a ship of the line. I don't remember which one now, because he just recently retired from the Air Force down there, and he's been working on one.
That's a switch.
Nice.
Switching from the Air Force to the Navy.
I know. And we have a Texan 2 from Aztec Models, 1/48. What else we got here?
Yeah,
Guided missile
that's
systems.
nice. That looks great.
I heard about this one. Modelsvit is doing a Mirage G8 in 1/72nd scale.
Huh.
I think that's like an attack aircraft, 2-seat attack aircraft. Looks like a hypersonic missile from Arma Models, the Russian Arma Models. An Albatross D5 from 3D Shoot Expert. Never heard of them.
Never heard of them, but the picture is beautiful.
Taiwan looks like they're out of only a couple of things so far. They built an if you go to what else they built, Ukrainian 5th Army armored vehicle. It's a tractor with a Ukrainian flag. I love it.
I do like that.
Yeah, that's good. And a starfighter parachute too, and an air refueling package. So yeah, different kind of things. We talked about some of the mini art stuff. Some Games Workshop. Oh, how about the from January 4th, the Embraer KC-390 in 1:144. It's a transport aircraft.
Well, what's this? James Bond Aston Martin DB5 in 1/24th scale, 2023 new tool.
Where's that? Under what date?
January 2nd.
January 2nd. Oh, yeah.
There's no picture, just a
no
big
picture yet. Gift set easy kit. So, yeah.
Yeah,
new tool. Yep, just to be announced. So all sorts of goodies here, as always. So, people are getting back into it. Definitely, worth checking out ScaleMates once in a while. See what else.
Dragons. A lot of dragons there from Archon.
A lot of dragons. Yep.
Huh.
Archon Studio, 28 mil. They've also got aircraft in miniature. They've got a lot of aircraft vehicles for modern stuff. So a Peacekeeper armored security vehicle in 48th, the RAF type Windy loader in a couple of scales.
I've got a lot. I'm still stuck on the names of these dragon kits. I love them.
Yep.
Xeno Dragon, Durkar, the Sovereign Spirit Serpent, Dragon.
It's probably from
Dungeons and Lasers.
Dungeons and Lasers. Freaking lasers, Jeff. What more do you need?
You got to have Dungeons and Lasers, man. I mean,
28 millimeter scale. So
yeah, so it's a good size.
They're plastic injected.
Wow.
Dungeons and Lasers. I totally got to do a search. Hang on. Dungeons and Lasers. It's probably a TV show. Anthony would know.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Lasers RPG terrain. So they're a company.
Dungeons and Lasers. Perfect.
Throw your party into a real dungeon. So they do like 3D printed terrain and stuff like that too.
That's fun.
Wild. Cool stuff. All right. So that's from our good friends.
I could just keep running down this thing.
I know. We could be forever, but
Yeah. Right beneath it is the USAF Peacekeeper armored security vehicle in 48 scale from aircraft to miniatures.
Yeah, that'll be fun for a diorama. A lot of different vehicles there. All right, so we should probably talk about our sponsor, who we were talking about a little bit before. One of Jeff's favorite stores for sci-fi. We're going to run their ad, and then coming up, we also have two special guests as we start our HeritigateCon 15 coverage coming up at the end of March. So we had Duncan Young and Ian Fraser on. So we talked about HeritigateCon. We talked about the Musaru Cup. We wound up one of our other podcasts. All that good stuff. So make sure you're paying attention. Other podcasters who are listening to this are in the Musaru Cup. Ian will remind you about the dates, so you might want to listen. So here we go. We're starting 2023 with some great new stuff here at Cult TV Man and CultTVManshop.com. Coming up, Executive Replicas has a few things. They have a second version of their Dave Bowman figure from 2001. Comes with a green helmet. They have a limited amount of stock. They've also got from the Irwin Allen TV series, Lost in Space, that classic one. John Robertson with his jetpack is also available. Also, Naomi, the Amazonian alien from the series, and also Athena, the girl from the Green Dimension. Those are all from Executive Replicas. They also have some restocks from Aztec Dummy and Paragraphics. Also, some brand new reissued Fred Fly pager kits from Atlantis. So we have the Super Fuzz and Flip Out the Beachcomber, classic hot rod kits. Good fun with those. Monarch has the Fly, the first shipment. They are really popular, flying off the shelves. Make sure you get in for a pre-order if you can, if it's still available. And also, following kits are coming next week. They've got the Moon Buggy from Space 1999, the Eagle 4 with the Lab Pod and Booster. That's 172nd, and both of those are from round 2. X Plus has the Cyclops from the 7th Voyage of Sinbad. So lots of goodies to keep you going through the colder months if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. All from our friends, and many, many more at CultTVManshop.com and CultTVMan. And you let them know the Scale Model Podcast sent you. All right, and now we're back for an interview I always enjoy doing around this time of year. We are going to be talking about our first big show of the Canadian Club calendar, and if I may be so bold, one of the biggest actually. That, of course, would be Heritagecon 15, and we have with us from IPMS Hamilton, Mr. Duncan Young and Mr. Ian Fraser. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Hi there.
Good stuff. And we should also point out that Ian is also the chief judge of the show and also the chief judge of the Moosaroo Cup. So if any of our listeners feel like bribing either of them, because apparently, from what I understand, Duncan's also one of the judges. Because we know we don't need much bribery, because Jeff's Moosaroo Cup build is absolutely awesome, despite what he says.
Ian's the head judge, but I'm the treasurer and control the bank account. So I'll take auto deposits. Our account is set up for auto deposit. We're good to go.
There you go. Money to Duncan, booze to Ian. That's pretty well the standard thing. All right, enough with the silliness here. So, Heritagecon 15, Duncan, give us all the juicy details. Let's start there.
So it's scheduled for Sunday, March 26th. Doors open at 9 a.m. sharp. So if you're interested in hitting the vendors tables, I should say, that would be the time to be waiting for the throws and the masses to
the lines. Yes,
the lines. We had a line up last year. We actually opened doors a bit early due to weather and things of that nature. But as of this evening, there are 6 tables left. So probably by the time this episode drops, all of the vendor tables will have been sold out. And that's always a great thing for the museum as a fundraiser, and just also, modelers and things of that nature coming to get good deals from, both shops and, specialty tool, FlexiFile, people like that. And then, just even myself, I have a table with some friends this year. We're going to be liquidating part of our stashes and a bit of a garage sale, as often is the case.
Awesome. No, and we should point out this is a major fundraiser for the Canadian Warplane Heritage Museum. As we like to say, IPMS Hamilton is the most awesome place to meet. For those who don't know, and haven't heard me say this about 28 billion times already, it's the Warplane Heritage Museum is the home of one of only 2 flying Lancasters in the world. Great place for a day out, and not just for the contest, but in general. All right. So, any particular themes this year?
No specific themes. We have our standard list of categories, and I believe there's 82 or 83 standard categories. That's your typical armor, aircraft, automotive, juniors, bantam, miscellaneous, which includes your sci-fi, your Gundam, your mecha groups as well, and miscellaneous.
Good.
And then we have a couple of special categories that we call them patron awards. These are categories that are special awards that are sponsored by certain individuals or groups. And this year we have what we're calling the Arthur Redding Trophy, which is the best CWH aircraft. So basically, if you enter something that's marked up exactly like one of the aircraft in the museum's collection, you're eligible. You could be eligible for a special award. We have the Eve Christensen Award, who's a good friend who IPMS Toronto sponsors a Best Modern Armor Award. So it has to be a modern armor post 1945. IPMS Toronto helps specifically in the judging of that award. We have sponsored by IPMS Sir Isaac Brock chapter in St. Catharines, the Bob Bracken Memorial Award. The Bob Bracken Award was because Bob Bracken was a very influential modeler in the area. He's also an author who wrote the Spitfire series of books. And they're sponsoring, and he was also a member of IPMS Sir Isaac Brock. They're sponsoring a category or a special award for the best aircraft flown by a Canadian fighter pilot during World War II. That was Bob's area of interest.
Right.
And then we also have one that we've had for many years, but seems to be of note this year, is the Antonov Award, and that's the best Ukrainian subject. That's been sponsored by Sero De Silva, who's been an active member of the Ukrainian community, an active member of the club. And they've sponsored one. They sponsored this award for about 5 years now. So this is not something that is very, just because it's trendy. This is something that we've had for a while. So those are the special awards that you'd be eligible to check off on your entrance form. And you'd be reviewed for that. And you don't necessarily have to win a category to win those awards, because most of those awards are judged by the patrons or representatives themselves. So they may use slightly different judging systems. So that's why we call them patron awards.
Very cool.
But other than that, there's also the standard best of aircraft armor, all those other fun ones. So.
Very good. So I assume it's IPMS. Give us a quick thing about the IPMS rules for judging.
Yes. Because we're an IPMS chapter, we're using IPMS Canada rules with a few of our homegrown versions. Basically, we are judging mostly on how well the subject has been built, the technical side of it. Finish, paint, assembly techniques, alignment, all those basic things. And it simply tells you that if you win a first, second, or third, that's how you place in the models that were entered in our show today. Okay. And it's just it's like a foot race, as Mike Bissett used to say. If someone wins, someone takes second, someone takes third, and they may not win tomorrow. So, but that's how the judges see it as they review the models on the day.
Cool. And we should point out the complete rules, entry forms, everything else you could possibly want to know is at heritagecon.com, the website, including the categories, pretty well everything you need to know, along with some cool pictures of previous shows, other information. I absolutely love the medals you guys give out. Who designed those, by the way? Those are so cool.
So I'll pick that up. We obviously take a lot from the Warplane Museum, like they are as our location, and our almost a sense the patron and the namesake of the club, and so their logo has been used on our medals, and we're actually going to be making a bit of a change this year. We're moving away from a medal with a necktie. We've taken some inspiration from some other clubs. We're actually going to be moving towards a cast. We might call it a coin. It's still a medal. It's nice. A 2-inch diameter coin, if we want to say that. Okay. In a little bit of a display box. So a little bit different than what we've given out over the last 14 years.
It's still going to be cool.
And so it's going to be. We're just actually talking about it on a recent planning meeting, and we've got some quotes come in, but it's going to be die cast and gold, silver, bronze still, but I think it's going to turn out really well. We're looking forward to seeing what they look like.
Absolutely wonderful. No, it's always. Go ahead.
I'd like to just make a point of clarification. I'm not trying to step on anybody, but the show is actually the Warplane Heritage is show. IPMS Hamilton has agreed to run the show for them. Okay. So it's not really our show. It's as in our club show. It's us with the museum. It's not just the location. They are integral partners in this.
Okay.
And they are fully supportive, and they've been doing a great job in backing us up and supporting us with this.
Yeah, fabulous show. Like I said, we absolutely love the museum and all the support they do. We're also going to be there as the podcast. Terry, you've already booked your hotel room, right? You're not sure yet.
I haven't booked anything yet, but I'm planning to come up.
Okay, that'll be awesome. That'll be good. Jeff's going to be there. The same arrangements. Yeah, I'm sure Jeff can find some room in his garage or something for you. I'm sure it'll be fine. No, we're going to be there with bells on and all that. And there's also some vicious rumors, some other people like those bourbon sipping guys from the Mojo in Kentucky. There's a vicious rumor going around that they may make an appearance. And, of course, some other people you'll hear on the interwebs and that. So we're going to be there. We're going to be up on our spot on high, from what I understand Alan said again, which is a great location to overlook all the action. We're going to try and get people there on the floor for interviews and things like that. And there's going to be, this, if you haven't been, bring your camera, because there are so many aircraft inside the museum, outside. That's just amazing. I think one you might want to make sure the museum has on display inside is possibly the Tudor. Because now that Kinetic is going to be bringing out a kit, I think we'll be getting a lot of people wanting to take photos of that one. But we have said the Lancaster, just, some absolutely amazing stuff here. I just want to briefly touch on sponsors. Obviously, the local clubs, they get a lot of sponsorships. Hobby stores are out there as well, the manufacturers, huge list of people. This is, like I say, Canada doesn't have a national show, but, and I know I'm going to get in trouble, but this is pretty well the closest it comes, I say, for a number of people coming up, at least on the east coast of things. As you say, the vendors are always amazing. Ways of, how many times people say, I'm only going to spend X amount. And then we usually end up spending lots more. Right, gentlemen?
Oh,
never.
Never. Even though I still see people borrowing trolley carts to haul their stashes, their newly acquired stashes out the door.
Yeah, we should point out there is an ATM on site, but it normally runs out of money pretty quick.
Yeah, so, by 9:45. Yes.
Yeah, usually by about that. Once Jeff and I have hit a few things, it's amazing.
Well, if I could put a plug in there, we do have category sponsorships available. We're in the throes right now of reaching out, just as you said, Stuart, to
awesome.
our network, and we've had great support. I would say we're more than half of the 83 categories have names beside them. We have one annual sponsor every year. He basically lays down $500, which you run that out at $35 a category. We just say, what categories would you like? But we would welcome any and all sponsorship of categories. If automotive's your thing, I'm sure we have a category. And
who would they contact for sponsorship? I'm just looking at the site here. I don't.
Yeah, the best, you can go straight to ipmshamilton@gmail.com. That's our president, and they will direct them my way. Alternatively, IPMS Hamilton Treasurer, all lowercase, @gmail.com. They're happy to send me an email, and we can send the current list of category sponsorships that are available. I think I'm quoting off the top here, but a category sponsorship is in the range of about $35 is what we're asking as a donation, and the best of, if there's any available, I think are usually $50.
Right.
And we give recognition on our website, the category table, and things of that nature. And again, we thank everyone who has sponsored us in the past, who's sponsoring us again this year. It's greatly appreciated.
Awesome. No, that's really, really good. So yeah, it's going to be an absolutely fun day. We always have a blast going. It's always a great time. Terry joined us last year. It was great to see him as well. We had a lot of fun. It's really cool. One thing we noticed last year, it's really cool. All ages are there now. Like I remember, Jeff and I were, I think it was Jeff and I or Terry and I were walking somewhere, and we saw four or five older mid teenage boys, and one had a ship, one had an aircraft kit, one had a sci-fi, one had an armor. It was just really neat to see all ages, which is a pleasant surprise. So the hobby's alive and well. Terry and Jeff, do you have any other comments or questions for these guys?
I mean, no, it was a well-run show. It was well laid out, and like I said, the vendors, Panda Hobbies, walked away with like $300 of my American dollars last year.
So that's about 3,000. Yeah.
They will be back, and they are. I know, particularly on the sci-fi Gundam, like we have a couple of our club members. Like that's a big thing of what they build.
Yeah, don't think of that. Just that. Look at the tools.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just giving the
Our friends from FlexiFile are coming back as well.
Awesome. Yeah, we got a couple of our sponsors will be there as well, and yeah, that's always the dangerous thing. Anthony Goodman and I, we're always, when we hit a show, first we don't go to the kits, we go to the tools first.
Well, again, back to Panda, when a vendor comes with a U-Haul and rolls off full racks of paint, they have said it's worth their effort to saran wrap, shrink wrap a rack of paint and roll it off the truck and bring it into the show.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Oh, I know. I picked up a lot of goodies there. Definitely. I should also point out though that the actual museum, they have a pretty awesome gift shop too, and it will be fully opened as well. So definitely a lot of cool things there. The odd kit, but an awful lot of other really
great
neat
book selection,
neat things.
Prints, posters,
T-shirts, hats.
So I think I heard or I saw that you sold out vendor tables quite a while ago.
There may have been a few. So as of tonight, or as I should say, as of Saturday, so could be even changed. And today's a Monday. There were the museum. We always have people who might cancel things of that. There were 6 tables, so 6 8-foot folding tables available as of this past Saturday.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's really good.
Yeah, I believe there's like 135 this year.
Wow.
Vendor tables.
Well, I am very pleased that Panda's showing up because I am out of this black CA glue. Madworks
glue, man. I told you.
I know. Anthony Goodman saw it. You better.
I got to buy about a gross of these things this time.
You better make sure you're there ahead of Anthony. I'm just saying.
Yeah, another big fundraiser for the club. In addition to sponsorship, we do have our raffle table.
Yes.
And again, we were going through the list. There's it's sort of, we have a certain number because we give an X number of tickets every hour, but we have kits being donated by Arma, Edward, others, and then other local model clubs and model shops from across the country. Again, that's a great support from the industry and the community to help on that. And that's for us as a club, that's our fundraiser really is the raffle. So.
And we should also point out, the most important thing will be the Musuru Cup announcement for who's going to win. Correct, Ian?
Yep. Well, the way we will announce it, it depends if you guys manage to get these things finished in time. I've been watching. The progress has been slow in some of the sectors.
Yeah, but that's fine. Jeff's going to be done. Jeff's going to be done, or he's not going.
He's probably working.
My problem is never whether I'm done or not. It's what level of done is it?
Well, you're going to be bringing it with you, however it's done.
Well,
Yep.
It's a double-sided sword here with the Musuru Cup because it's an international podcast competition. We have to judge on the digital images you send.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I've seen things that look fantastic in pictures, but up close and personal, I don't know. But you don't have to worry about that because when you show up, the judging will have already been completed.
Already been done, exactly. But you can bring it anyway, Jeff. If you ever...
bring it anyway. Definitely want to bring it. And I have no doubt that the quality will be excellent because Judging from what's been happening in the past years, you guys have just been notching it up every time.
Exactly.
Our numbers are for the Mooseroo have gone from 2 podcasts. We're now at 9.
I know.
9 entrants this year.
Exactly.
And they are all excellent modelers. I've seen the works of all of them, and it's going to be tough to judge. And we're really looking forward to it.
Yep.
And we're trying to figure out what to do for the next year, because we really have to find something to challenge you.
Yeah,
because apparently this Mustang was not a challenge.
Well, there was also, we also talked about a fix being in, because someone loves 72nd, but we won't dwell on that. That's fine.
So I gave them out I was at
I know. I saw the video.
Nationals handing them out, and I made a very clear point that this selection was nothing to do.
I know. I heard you.
Who won the year before? It was just Ian and Alan and our sponsor there.
I have a funny. Yep.
Just fell in place.
Well, what's funny? I have a funny story about that, because I didn't see the video right away of you doing the announcement. I just saw Dave Knight took a picture with his kit, right? One of the other podcasters sent Dave's picture along to me. I thought they were winding me up. I really did. I thought, that would be Dave's perfect thing if it was. He's winding me up. And then about an hour later, I saw your video when you came in the room and presented it. It's like, that's hilarious.
Well, and it was a bit of so the travel at that time was that when all the baggage was just chaos, right? You couldn't. So I was like, I'm not checking a bag. I have 8 model kits in my checked luggage. So I had a checked bag, a few pieces of clothing, and my solution was, I'm going to give these kits away, and I'm just going to fill it with stuff from the vendor room.
Sounds perfectly.
Fill it all the way back, and
smart.
that's exactly what I did.
Sounds perfectly smart. No, I know, I like it. But yeah, we should also thank IPMS Hamilton and Lightspeed Global for helping sponsor that.
Arma's been great as well.
Arma will be on my Christmas card list even more if their 48th Hurricane comes out this year. I keep reminding them of that. They haven't figured out how to do the restraining order yet of me keeping bugging them.
I will
maybe
tell
Ian, you should go through, for Jeff's benefit, you should give him the due date, the timing, so that he doesn't have any misconceptions of when his
Ian, go ahead.
Yeah, you have to have your images supplied to us by March 11 at midnight. March 11.
It's gonna be tight.
You got 2 months. It's a 72nd scale airplane. Come on, 2 months.
Come on.
You've got guys doing these 72 and 72 scale builds. Come on.
I don't know, Ian. Have you seen what I've been working on lately on Facebook?
I've been keeping an eye.
Yeah,
it's a matter of maintaining focus. What's your priorities?
It's priorities.
Exactly. Yeah. I think you'll do fine, Jeff, because you also got Chris Wallace's group build, Pacific. You got 6 months on that, so you'll be fine.
Yeah. I got to say though, just to put a plug in for Arma, that kit is fantastic. If you want to build a 172nd P51 Mustang, actually, if you want to build any scale P51B Mustang, choose that one. It is just a beautiful kit. And it'd be very hard to not do a good job on it. And to the point about did you guys pick the right kit as a challenge? I think you did. I think it's I like the idea of it being the same kit, and you're really effectively judging on the basics. You're judging on finish, you're judging on construction, you're judging on seam filling, all that kind of stuff. So I think that actually is a good basis for a contest. So good for you guys.
Well, that's pretty much what we decided. We decided to do something that was out of the box, because we knew we had a very large variety of modeling skills available to us, that we wanted an even playing field. So I couldn't give a kit to somebody who can basically re-engineer the entire thing, and other modelers who would have a difficult time doing that. So when the P51 came up, it piqued my radar immediately. But when they gave us that wide variety of paint schemes, that gave everybody the chance to express their interests a little bit differently. So it was it was the perfect kit. It popped up at the perfect time.
Yep.
And Arma was very supportive in providing us those kits quickly.
That's awesome.
So it just happened to be the kit. It had absolutely nothing to do with Mr. Knight at all.
I know.
In
But
fact,
we like to
it was
bug 'em.
King. Figure, you know what? I am going to take a lot of shit for this. Sorry, a lot of grief for this.
But you're going to take the other thing too. You're going to get that.
No. It's mostly David though who will get the grief. Don't worry about that. We don't mind. No, we knew. We just because eventually something's gonna peak, which is in someone's wheelhouse. So that's fine. Yeah. Like I said, I was laughing the whole time because I said I seriously thought they were winding me up. And then I saw your thing and I went, oh, they're not winding me up. This is hilarious. So, all right, gentlemen. Any other last things before we let you go?
No, we're just looking forward to seeing everybody there and bring your best efforts and bring your cash.
Oh, I know. We're going to be there as well. And like I said, we might try and get back to you just before the show, just as one last thing before we go on show day to remind people, because it is a very special day and we really always have a good time. So all we can hope for now is that there are no snow streamers, sunny days, bright skies, no snow.
And no windstorms either. Last year
no windstorm.
Yeah, last year was a bit of rain, a bit of wind. It's the only thing I'd finish on is Fine Scale Modeler will be attending again to take photos. They really enjoyed coming to the show last year. They've said they're, at least for the foreseeable future, they're going to be making the trip from the U.S. up to see the show. And we're in the midst of lining up some other seminar type program to keep people occupied during the day. So we'll probably see some announcements about that over the next couple months.
Good. Yep.
And in general, maybe the only thing that is maybe a bit different from last year. Last year we trialed an online registration system. We've paused on that for this year.
Okay.
So it will be traditional sort of register the day of. In the next short time, we're going to be posting the registration form for this year to the website, so people can at least download it, type in your information, things of that nature. So that would be one thing that was big, new last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's not happening this year, and the whole intent is we're going to be sort of making some changes next year and give us some time to get that all in play. So,
question, Duncan, is there because we're, as you know, Stuart and I are IPMS London, and we're working towards our show this fall.
Yeah.
What was the rationale for not repeating the electronic?
The system that was put together last year, and we can always chat offline further, it was put together not in haste. It was just maybe a little bit very Canadian. There's a lot of duct tape in behind the scenes, and it was very labor sort of data entry, and we were moving towards trying to get that more efficient this year. But like with anything, somehow it's September, then it's December, and now it's January.
That's what I figured.
And we're also going to be, like, as a club, we're kind of like anything, we're growing, and the show is very important. We're going to be launched next year. A big program for us is a new website, and we're going to merge sort of Heritagecon with IPMS Hamilton, so you can go to one website instead of having two.
Cool.
And the intent is, with that, we'll be able to sort of spend some time, because there's lots of platforms. There's Google, there's things like that IPMS USA use. Put the time in, get it working. I think I've even reached out to you hear about the folks down under the Australia Model Expo that Dave and Julian. I've reached out to them. They have a proprietary platform that they've created.
I've heard of that too.
A viable solution. So it's we got to spend the time to trial things, alpha test, beta test, and get it working. So that 2024 we'll have something that's just running.
And I think there's some opportunity there also with IPMS USA and the guys in the UK, because I know IPMS USA has been working on it. It's a good opportunity now that we're coming out of COVID, and there might be some room there to do something together that many hands may make light work. So
that's right.
Yeah, I think that'll be good.
And last year we also had, I think because we knew we were having this sort of a lot of people coming out of COVID, building 5 models a month. We had a sort of 5 model per registrant restriction to try to make it as open. Well, we didn't need all that. We didn't have that full capacity. But we've removed, Ian, you can correct me here if I'm wrong, but there's no capacity. Like if someone comes with 10 kits to register, obviously there's a fee per each model, but you can bring 10, you can bring 12.
There is one restriction. One person entering has a limit on the physical space he can occupy, and that's roughly half a table. So if somebody shows up with 15 dioramas, pick your best 1 or 2 or 3 that will fit in that space. That's the only restriction we have on space or numbers of entries right now.
Gosh.
And that restriction has been in for,
wow,
basically since Heritagecon 6, I think, is when it was first introduced. So, but that's the only restriction we have at the moment.
Very good. All right.
So on the last point, just because I'd like to think ahead, suggestion for the model for next year's Moosaroo Cup. I think, because it won't be me doing it, I think it would be a really good idea to expand on this out of the box concept and instead go back to sow's purse, silk ear, or whatever. Basically, you got to take a 1958 vintage Aurora kit and do your best with it, something like that. That would be really exciting.
Okay, Duncan, we need to check the offices for some bugs, because that was one of the things we had potentially
We've talked
discussed.
about that all the. Here's an Airfix kit from 1960. Here's a frog kit.
Hey, that works for me.
Talked about.
That works for me.
I love it.
Well, we found a bunch of old Merlin model ones.
Oh my God!
you want old? We can probably find a whole series of old ones. There's been a whole number of suggestions and recommendations.
I can imagine.
Some of them are absolutely quite
strike.
Yeah. Some of them are actually quite devious. So it's like,
I'm up for devious. I think that, with nine podcasters now, I think devious is called for.
Jeez, and devious people in this modeling space? Never.
Well, have you heard of the term vacuform?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, great. Just one of our regular club members, Mike, who just does amazing work with vacuform. He's been chuckling as Jeff's been working on this stuff. He would be chuckling if I had to do that. So, but that's fine. That's a good resource to ask.
Yeah, but we've had discussions on virtually anything and everything. One item that we thought about, laughed about, seriously considered, then rejected, was that make it a real challenge, make it a community effort. Mail different sprues of different kits to different members, and you would have to figure out what airplane it was, get your own parts together, and build that.
Jesus.
I told you there was some deviousness going on here.
No, that's just evil. No, that's not devious. That's evil.
Yeah,
that's evil.
I think it's good. What's even more fun is if you send a sprue of tank parts to a guy who exclusively does airplanes, and vice versa.
Hey, and I'm the treadhead here who's like, why haven't we done armor yet?
Yeah, true. He's got a point. That could be interesting.
Wait, but we also haven't done ships.
No.
Biplanes.
We haven't done an exclusive.
You have so much left to go.
We haven't done an exclusive car category.
No, we haven't. We haven't. So, all right.
It's so much fun. I'm so glad I'm not doing it next year.
I'm so blaming you, depending what happens, Jeff. I'm just saying. Just gonna throw that out there right now. All right, gentlemen. Always a pleasure. We're gonna wrap this up, and again, we'll be talking to you again before the show. And if we don't, we will see you at the show.
Great.
Well, it was a pleasure talking to you, and hope to talk to you before then. But if not, I'll be glad to see you there.
All right. Take care, gentlemen. All righties. So that was an awesome interview.
Yeah, I hope that just for the benefit of the other podcasters, they heard that that Ian made it very clear that the deadline for getting your pictures in is April 11th.
Yeah, that's it.
Don't forget that, April 11th.
Yeah, there we go. Sometimes considering Jeff's former role in life, he may lie. Or he may obscure. Is obscure the better word? The obscure is the better word, right? Bend the truth a little bit. Yeah. All right. All right. So speaking of another awesome who is going to be there vending as well, our good friend at Sean's Custom Model Tools. So here is their ad. Now we're going to talk a bit about Sean's Custom Model Tools, one of our other sponsors of the Scale Model Podcast. Some very cool things, both 3D printed and the Goodman Super Sanding Blocks. Let's start with the Microset and Microsole Decal Set Bottle Stand. This is purposely designed for the microscale set and sole. Most modelers over the years, they've tipped these bottles over. So this is a very handy thing. At $14.95, you can put them both together. They're printed in blue and red for easy identification. Comes with a black base, and they actually have little magnets on it, so helps keeps them in place. Definitely a good deal. I use mine all the time, and I can well recommend them. Let's talk a bit about those Goodman Model Super Sanding Blocks, namely the Value Pack Combo for $28.99. You get the 80 grit, 180 grit, 220, 320, 400, and 600. Just an amazing set, just what you need. And you can also, if you want, you can also get a super sanding block stand for it, which also really makes life a little bit easier, helps things keep it organized. The other thing too is they have the awesome model tape dispenser for your various tapes. It's basically a 3D printed thing. You put spools of your tapes. It's got a little razor blade to help cut it, and it's really, really good design. So yeah, works out really well, and yours for $19.95. So check out these and other amazing deals at Sean'sCustomModelTools.com, and also on Facebook, and tell them that the Scale Model Podcast sent you. All right, what's on the bench? Jeff, let's start with you today, because we've been following along with this. Those of you who follow Jeff's Facebook will have been following along.
Yeah, it's actually a good segue from Sean's, because basically I've worn out my entire super sanding block set on this damn these two kits. We got IPMS London was contacted by the Jet Aircraft Museum, which is a museum in London, Ontario, out at the airport. And they fly a T-33, and they have a Voodoo, and they have a couple of other planes, and they have a static T-33 as well, amongst other things. Anyway, they have a bunch of large-scale kits hanging from the ceiling of their gift shop, and they had come into possession of two 3D printed 1/18th scale planes. One was a Canadair F5D, which is a Canadian equivalent of a T-38, the two-seat freedom fighter jet, and a T-33 trainer, the classic workhorse of the Canadian Air Force. And they wanted somebody to build them. And they're 3D printed, 1/18th scale, and they are horrible. They were horrible.
Well, the shape was right, more or less.
Only after I think I said I got 55 hours into these things so far, and most of the time has been spent using my DeWalt oscillating sander, just triangular sander, just to try to get it down. I literally started with a wood rasp. A coarse wood rasp to try to get rough shapes on it.
Yeah.
And but they're coming along. And I just started. I'm at the point now where I'm working on the T-33. I put the CF5 away for the paint, the primer paint, to really dry hard before I start doing the aggressor ghost scheme on it, which I'm kind of looking forward to. But in the process, I found that somehow along the line, the Carpet Monster has lost one of the transparencies for the front window on the T-33, and the whole canopy framing for the front window is gone on it. So I'm going to have to scratch build that. I've been doing a lot of that as well. So a lot of work, a lot of sanding.
So 55 hours in. I know they're going to give you a yearly membership, but I think we should start a GoFundMe to pressure them to give you a flight in one of their aircraft.
Yeah, that's $2,000, $3,000. I don't think so.
Well, you never know. I
was talking to my wife about that the other day, saying, yeah, it seems like it's a lot of money, but it's a lifetime thing.
It's a lifetime thing. I have a former coworker who lives down your way, and he did it, and he had an absolute ball. He's a tall guy. I don't know how they got him in. So if he can get in, you can fit in the back.
Oh, I'm sure I can fit in. I mean, with a little bit of work. But anyway, I will say this: the gentleman, William Burns, Bill Burns, is the administrator out at the Jet Aircraft Museum who hooked us up with this and hooked me up with this. He also is the proprietor of Can Mill Air, which is used to be the Decol Group.
Had him on the show.
And he said he sold his business to Andrew Finnegan, which is above and below decals out of Victoria. So and they're going to be making the decals for this. That was part of the deal.
Awesome.
Bill drew them up, and Andrew's printing them, and he's going to send them to me. He basically gave me an open timeline, so I could build these things, take as long as I want. And so far, it's been less than a month just to get it to this stage, and I'm really kind of enjoying the rough and ready nature of trying to do this instead of working on detailed cockpit stuff, because this is going to be a ceiling hanger. I'm really focused more on getting the shape right.
And you got to use power tools on it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, how often do you get to use heavy duty power tools on a plastic aircraft?
I should point out one of our club members, Mike Hill. He does some amazing work with vacuform and all that. So he's often working with very rough grades of sandpaper. And when Jeff's been working on this during our build nights on Wednesdays, it's quite hilarious sometimes, because sometimes you'd hear them both sanding. And sanding. It was quite hilarious. So Mike's been very helpful as well. And you've also got Blappy Gurdon's going to help with some drop tanks.
He's already done it. I mean, Dave was fantastic. I sent a note out to him and Ron Tucker, both of whom are my gods of scratch building from our club.
Yeah,
and saying, hey, this kit didn't come with the wingtip tanks, and the wingtip tanks for this plane are kind of iconic. You need them.
Yeah.
Sexy sort of area rule work to them. And Dave volunteered. I got Bill to send me an in-scale three view drawing of the tick tanks that he had done. Mm-hmm. And I sent that to Dave, and Dave converted it into an STL file, and he's printed them up. So
they look awesome. This is
they look like they're a little bit better. They're better than what came in the box. With that one.
You'll have to scuff them up a bit. That's all right.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Right. That's great. Awesome. All right, Mr. Terry.
Yeah, so I finished off that Turbo Cavalier conversion from Halberd Models that I have named the NF51T.
I love it.
For the NASA version of this.
That is an outstanding build, Terry.
Yeah.
Everything worked out pretty well. The only thing I wish I had done, and it was too late by that time, was to put modern pylons on it instead. But I wasn't going to scrape them off and repaint.
No, it's your kit. Who cares? Ignore the rivet counters.
So yeah, that looks great. The masking all mostly worked very, very, very well with it. And if anybody wants, I've got the files for the stripings in 48 scale, and that's the 5 miller, also 10 millimeter. If anybody wants them, let me know. I'll email you the file for it.
Or if they're not too large, Terry, we can host them on the website too.
That's true.
Yeah. So send them to me, and I'll make sure we throw a link up.
Yep. So finish that, and the Dora Wings P-43 Lancer, got some nice shots of both, and they're up in the cabinets.
Yeah, they look great. Both look great.
Yeah.
But I really like that Turbo Cavalier. That's a sharp plane.
Oh, that's really nice. I'm hoping if you can make it for Heritagecon, that's one of the ones you bring.
Yeah, I would definitely.
I think that's going to be an entry. Definitely. All right, and you're also working on Chris Wallace's Let's Go Pacific
the Pacific build. So I'm building 2 of the KI-15 Mitsubishi, the Babs, and the promotional flight, the Kamikaze flight.
Right.
I screwed up the canopy for the Babs, so fortunately, Dead Design Studios that makes masks also has a vac form series. So,
well, there you go. See,
and they're separate, so I could actually have the canopy open for that one.
Ooh.
And the the way canopies slide under each other and stuff on those planes.
Yep.
So
very cool.
I may make that work.
Good.
And also I've been doing surface correction and some assembly on Moscato's F203 Dragon.
Very cool. Yep.
So
Always a good kit. Well, I haven't been doing much. Just been a lot of stuff happening on the real life side. So thank goodness for the Wednesday night group builds. And I just want to do a shout out. If you've never done a group build, whether it's in person or via Zoom, where you get some of your guys together, some of the guys and girls from the club together, you fire up your Zoom camera and your workbenches and you just all build together. It's like being there in real life. It's a fantastic thing to do. I really find I get my mojo and my motivation back thanks to the guys on Wednesdays. And I know you guys both do them as well, various groups. So just if you haven't done it, give it a try. So for the Let's Get Pacific group build, I've been slowly but surely working on the Tamiya Bowfighter. I got the cockpit done, the fuselage was all assembled. It was good practice for reminding me how to do good seam work, filling in seams. I actually tried a couple of techniques. I used my perfect plastic putty, but I also played a bit more with the Mr. Surfacer, a little bit more, and that worked very well. Did some work on the engine area. So yeah, working slowly but surely. And I also started work on my quote unquote Christmas present. My wife and I, we keep it simple. We buy what we want and then we give it to the other person saying, hey, you're giving me this for Christmas.
Yeah.
So I was at our local gaming store, the Game Chamber, which has a lot of paint and supplies, and Catalyst Games has the BattleTech license these days, and they're producing some beautifully cast minis with the base built in, etc. And I started playing BattleTech when it first came out 35 years ago, and I got a ton of different, lead minis over the years, stuff like that I painted, and I love some of the clan stuff. So they had 5 of them in a box. They were on sale, and yeah, they just kind of jumped into the shopping cart. So I haven't painted minis in a while, so I got them primed. I got 2 of them primed. I got a coat of what is it now? One of the mini brands, of course, Army Painter, the Chaotic Red, a dark red. I'm going to do them as Wolf's Dragoons, just starting that. So really enjoying playing around with that a little bit. But yeah, BattleTech's a lot of fun. And as I had to send a message on Facebook to a good friend of mine, and she does an amazing job painting. And I said to her, just when I think I'm out, they drag me back in. So, yeah. So that's been fun too. But yeah, no, it's been good. Real life's been really, really busy these days. Alicia's father is in the hospital. We're looking at long-term care. So we're dealing with all that. Work's been busy. Post-COVID, still, I think I'm like 90%. But, it drags on. Like I said, at least, I feel bad for Jeff because he had the bad sore throat. I don't have that. I just have it feels like a frog in your throat, but it's not painful. It's just annoying.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know about you, but the fatigue, it hangs on for quite a while.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm dealing with. So no, it's been good though. All right. Next thing up, things we've seen. So I noticed this was a Banshee correction set. I saw it on the Facebooks from Wreath Creations.
Wreath Creations.
Yeah, this is kind of cool. They got like a correction set. Again, I don't know my Banshee, but I guess it corrects it.
Yep, they also have a Night Fighter nose for it. And if you look in the for sale, the correction set's not available right now, but they also have an early experimental Corsair conversion.
Oh, so they do, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and this isn't the one where the first version where the fuselage, where the cockpit was farther forward. This is where they're playing around with superchargers.
Okay.
So that might be fun to do too.
It might be fun to do. You never know. And then they got one for P5M Marlin in 1/72nd scale.
Yeah.
A conversion set there. So yeah, again, we like supporting the cottage industries.
Yep, and this is a guy, like so many of these others, like he just wanted to do it for himself, and well, then, just make it available.
Yeah, and he's done a lot of stuff. He's done architectural models, film and TV models. Like he knows his stuff.
He was a professional.
Yeah, design CAD work.
Yep,
restoration work. So it's a cool site to check out too. It's he has a nice site here. So definitely check it out.
Yep. And then we mentioned just briefly Thunder Models doing a Bofors anti-aircraft gun truck, a ubiquitous vehicle in World War II.
Yes. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to see pictures so soon, but they did have it. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, excellent.
Wow. Wow, look at that. That's
yes.
Holy mackerel.
Look at the
That's
detail
amazing.
in there. That is. Wow.
You need one of these.
Definitely.
And Kotare is doing another
Mark
Spitfire.
Mark 5. Yeah, they did announce it in Telford, and they've given some more little bits and bobs here talking about it. So I believe both of you ordered the Mark 1s?
Yes.
I have not yet. No.
No, Mike did.
Mike did. That's right. You're absolutely right. Mike did.
Yeah.
If they do a 5B because it's Eagle Squadrons, maybe I'd buy that.
Yeah.
But
I always say same thing with the Airfix or a Mark 9 if I had room. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be nice. So yeah, we just thought we'd point an update out on their site. 3 color schemes from 38, 39, and 1940, cartograph, exposed fuel tanks, etc.
Well, it's going to be beyond state of the art. It's going to be these are game changing models.
Yeah, these are museum quality. Again, these are the Wing Nut Wings guys.
Yeah.
Almost all of them are Wings Nut Wings alumni. All right, and what's this about Vince Hoffman?
Yep, Vinny. I was talking with Vinny on game night, and he said he's getting close to the point where he's going to put it in water.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, this is his runabout that we've been following.
Yes,
it's gorgeous.
The Chris Craft runabout from Dumas.
Just beautiful.
It's beautiful. He did forget to run wiring to the lighting up on the bow until after it was done, so he had to work a drill down inside the thing and run the wires up into it. But
he could have used radioactive.
He was having issues with the motors, and they're old motors.
Yeah.
So he thinks they're shot. And he's just going to get new motors for it.
Even without a motor, it still looks absolutely gorgeous.
But he thinks within a couple of weeks, he's going to have it on the water.
You know what? When he has it in the water, Terry, we'll reach out to him. Let's see if we can get him on.
Yes, I will do that.
I think he'd make an excellent interview.
Vinny's fan. Yeah, Vinny is also he's an architect, so he's a hell of a modeler.
All right. Yeah, there'll be some cool stuff. Yeah, and he's got some cool stuff on his Facebook page. Plus, he has cats. He has cats.
Now you say he's putting it in the water in January in Chicago?
No. He's in the Bay Area in California.
Oh, well, never mind then. I don't even want to talk to him.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He's also got pictures of cats. He's got pictures of frying bacon on his Facebook page.
Okay. They
enjoy their food too.
Yeah, he's got some rabbits, other boats. It's all good.
Yep.
All good.
Nice.
We'll get him on. Yeah, it'll be fun. He's a great guy.
All right. So before I do the last word, anything else we have to talk about?
I don't think so.
No, I think we've covered it. It's good. Good start to January, and buildings. Everyone's got time to build, and with the cold weather and everything. So
it's time to get on your butts and build.
Yeah.
One thing I will mention, working on not working on the Musaru Cup entry. It was sitting in my pile of things not done yet, and my grandkids were here, and let's just say that I will be modeling it with the closed cockpit canopy now.
Oh dear.
Because the open, it comes with two canopies,
mm-hmm.
and one is sized to be open, and the other is sized to be closed. And I was going to leave it open just so you could see the interior. That one kind of got crushed.
Oh dear. So, I thought you kept them busy with like older kits to keep their little fingers out of that.
Yeah, I did, but and then there was way back. It was you had to get a ladder to get to, and
They're clever. They're clever. That's because their mothers are smart.
Yeah, it's not the father, not the grandfather.
No, not the grandfather. Probably the grandmother, but not the grand.
Yeah,
and the girls. So that's fine. So are the kids still building models? Did they do a model building with Grandpa over the holidays?
Yep, we had a lot of that. But what we really wound up doing, they got addicted to a Lego Lord of the Rings video game on PS3, on my old PS3 system, and so I was in charge of the controller because they didn't want to run it, but they would tell me what to do, and we played this for days, on and off.
So once again, you cemented yourself as the cool grandfather.
Totally addicted to it. It was kind of fun because that's actually a lot of fun way to introduce younger people to the story of the Lord of the Rings.
Exactly. Yeah, very good. All right. So
Boromir gets killed with a banana. Let's just put it that way.
Ow, that's gotta hurt. That's where he stabbed her. The banana. Never mind. All right. We're going to quickly talk about our good friend Brett and Chrissy at Return to Kit Form down under in Australia. We were talking about Macross kits and a lot of new Valkyries coming out. Well, if you're looking for the ideal mask for the canopy, this is where you want to go. Also, if you want to look at some of the Moscato Hobby Models kits, which Terry was mentioning earlier, they're the international distributor out of If you're not in North America, you come see them. And they've got all sorts of resin kits, plastic kits, stuff like that. If it's Macross, you'll probably find it here. I'm just saying. They're also doing the pre-order for the 1/6 Motorcycle Freak from Moscato. Mm-hmm. So that'll be fun. All sorts of cool things. Valkyrie weapon sets, different Valkyries. I built the YF-19 a while back. It was absolutely awesome. I want to build another one at some point. It's all good stuff. So definitely check them out at return2kitform.com, and you can tell them the Scale Model Podcast sent you.
And don't be, the other thing too, don't be intimidated by the fact that they're from Australia and that you got to deal with global shipping or anything.
Quick shipping.
It's fast, it's effective, it's efficient. Australia is it's great. I've been so impressed with the way things work.
I swear the Australian post office has a Stargate or a warp hole. Canadian, because the way it seems to come so much quicker. Definitely. All right, gentlemen. So for episode 108 of the Scale Model Podcast, my name is Stuart Clark.
My name is Jeff Hyland.
My name is Terry Measley, and I'm reminding you to grind, rasp, and sand.
Yes.
Yes. Well done.
Somebody else has to do it.
Thank you, and be well.